Chet, Mark said there was a nice tone change for you guys defensively to start that second quarter. What do you feel like you guys did on the defensive side of the ball to change the script there?
I think we picked up our energy. Early in the game, they were making shots from the outside, and some of that was them coming out ready to play, and some of that was us just being a little late on some rotations and closeouts. And once we picked that up, we really made shots tough on them and started to get some stops.
Shai, calendar year 2023, you guys have won at about a 50-win pace. I just wanted to see your thoughts on the growth that you've witnessed from this group and experienced together over the course of this last year.
Yeah, we've done a lot better. We put in a lot of work. I expect us to get better. I'm not surprised. Yeah, we got to keep going, keep getting better.
Shai, we saw a few weeks ago teams started to pretty dramatically play off of Josh. They would guard him with some centers. And he told Mark that he had not really been played that way and it kind of threw him off. He seems to have adjusted to that. I just wonder what you've seen from him in the last couple of weeks and what you've seen in maybe in the change in his confidence being guarded that way.
Yeah, he's doing exactly what I expected. I said this before, every young player gets thrown different looks and has to adjust, especially early in their careers. I've had to go through it. Teams are going to try to scheme and take you out of your comfort zone, and that's what we saw. And Josh did exactly what he's supposed to do, learn from it, get better, and attack it, and he was killing it tonight for sure.
Chet, same thing. Have you noticed a change just in the way he's adjusted to that?
Yeah, 100%. He's coming out extremely confident and aggressive, and that's what we expect from him. He works extremely hard at his craft, going back to shoot at night and really put in the effort to be able to play his game. And those are good shots for him and us as a team. And, he's knocking them down now, and he's going to continue to do that.
Chet, I obviously didn't play last year, but for both of you, obviously earlier this year you're barreling toward the plan. You end this year not having lost 10 games. Just could either of you just reflect on this past year as a whole?
I think it's just like any year. Lots of ups, lots of downs, lots of lessons to learn, and I feel like we've done a good job of learning from those lessons, and we're going to carry that into the new year.
New Year's Eve crowd, always a special crowd in Oklahoma City and the tradition of playing on New Year's Eve. Can both of you guys speak to the crowd and like the energy that they were there tonight, and then tell us what you guys are doing for New Year's Eve and bring it in 2024?
Yeah, they bring it every single night, New Year's or not, and tonight was another night where they brought the energy, and it really picked us up as the game got going. We really fed off the crowd after that first quarter, and we're always appreciative to have them, holding it down.
This is both of you. When you got the balanced scoring like you had tonight, especially the starters, how do you feed off of that in terms of the assists? I mean, the assist numbers are up. I mean, does that really kind of just make you want to look for the open man even more so, I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we just try to play the right way. Whatever's going on, who's scoring, who's not scoring, we don't notice. We just try to all be aggressive, play to our strengths, and then play the right way and put our teammates in the best advantage to score. I think that's how we go about it.
Yeah, 100%.
Seems like you've been a little bit more physical over the last few weeks. Is that more so you getting more comfortable learning the NBA as you go along?
I feel like I got to turn up the physicality. I haven't been perfect or completely terrible in any games, but I feel like I got to be better in those areas. Yeah.
For Chet, a lot of your offensive influence, people talk about KD and other players like that, but defensively, who have been the biggest influences on your career and just how you play defense?
Part of it just, I guess, instincts, part of it coaching, part of it teammates, just trusting me to have their back on certain plays, especially at the rim. And then I guess it's more like film than specific people when you're watching for defensive stuff. So a lot of combinations of things.
And then for Shai, last week after the Knicks game, you talked a lot about their identity as a team under Tip, that they're going to play really physical, they're going to play a lot of defense. Overall, what's the identity of this team so far as we go into 2024, and how much can you just, I guess, decide this is what the identity is versus just playing it out?
Yeah, we play fast. We play physical. We get into the ball. We pride ourselves on defense, and then offensively we play very free-flowing, like everyone can handle, everyone can pass, shoot, dribble, play off each other.
Yeah, you guys, you didn't do it tonight, but you've been turning people over a lot. What makes you such a good takeaway team, and what was happening tonight where that didn't really happen?
We have really good on-ball defenders. We have obviously Chet defensively, and I think they did a good job of taking care of the ball. They probably made it a point of emphasis. I don't know, but 82-game season, you're not gonna turn everyone over as much as you like every night. But we've done a pretty good job of that so far.
On this particular subject, what does Chet do? Because we talk a lot about his rim protection.
But I just block shots.
But so what does he do to create turnovers?
Well, because he's so good at the rim, he allows us to pressure the ball, funnel offensive players towards him.
Yeah.
And then for a big, he has great hands.
Yeah.
Defensively and offensively.
I'd say the way I help that is when guards know that I'm going to be there, they don't just get a free run at the rim. So they kind of slow down, and then that's giving whoever's behind a chance to catch up and deflect either the dribble or the pass after that. So just kind of presentation, I guess, and making the offense have to think and make the second play.
Chet, it seems like game to game you're getting better at setting screens. What goes into screening at this level, and any adjustments you've had to make in that category?
Just understanding coverages and schemes and what other teams are doing that affects the way I'm screening, the angles, and the kind of attacks out of that. So I'm kind of learning as I go to see that in game in real time and adjust.
Anybody else?
Gallo, OKC Thunder. Isaiah, Mark said that the tone that the group had to start the second quarter was really impactful. What do you remember kind of feeling about that time of the game and what you guys were able to do to change that defensively?
Yeah, we just picked up the intensity. It started on defense, and doing so was able to get our offense going a little bit, but we just had to string together stops, keep stacking possessions, and that's what we did starting in the second, it led to the bigger victory.
When you guys have nights like this with just great offensive balance, so many different guys in double figures, what's leading to that? How is that being generated?
First getting stops, and then on the offensive end, just keeping it moving. The ball has energy, and whenever we get it moving, we generate really good shots, and that's what we did tonight. We just trusted one another and kept it moving and kept getting good looks.
A few weeks ago, teams really started to sag off Josh. They played him with their center a lot. You haven't seen that every game, but they did it again tonight. He looked a lot more confident. Guys were finding him from three. What's it do for you guys when he's playing that way, and how have you seen him kind of come through that stuff?
Yeah, well, first off, Josh is he's a professional. He took it upon himself to really put in work to be able to knock down the shots whenever they start to do that, and I think he's done a really good job thus far. Whenever they've sagged off, he's made them pay the majority of the time, and so we're gonna keep finding them. I mean, if they're gonna sag off, we would love for Josh to take all the open threes, because he's been knocking them down. So he's doing a really good job, and I think just as a team, we just got to keep, finding an open man no matter the situation.
There's a lineup that you guys rolled out there. It was you, Josh, Shai, Kenrich. It's a small lineup, basically, what I'm trying to get to. I know you guys run that a lot. Just what's your mindset just going, basically almost 4 point guards on the floor at the same time, guarding against these bigger guys?
Yeah, I mean, just be active, be physical. Obviously, when they're the bigger team, we really got to key in on rebounding, getting stops and finishing with rebounds. And then once we get the rebound with that lineup, we can run the floor. I think teams really struggle to get back with us during those stretches. So as long as we're, physical on the defensive end and finishing every possession with a rebound, we can get out and run.
Isaiah, I'm curious because in those lineups when you're with Jay Will, it felt like when Brooklyn was kind of blowing up some of those actions and you guys are getting ran off the line, whatever, you kind of have to kick out constantly. It feels like you and Jay Will always know where the other is. Just could you describe your connection with him and just what you guys are like together on the floor?
Just chemistry. I think you've been around, when you're around somebody for, a portion of your life, you just build a chemistry on and off the court, and when we're on the floor together, we just have a net, for finding each other, finding open spots. He's seen my game since we were younger. I've seen his game since we were younger, and, we just build off that, and I think going out there each game with him, we just complement each other very well.
This year, you've been beneficial of the gravity Shai creates the last 2 years, and this year it seems like it's grown. What goes into that chemistry that you guys have with not just him, but everybody on the floor, where you guys know exactly where to be when he drives and just 3-4 guys collapse on him and he gets it to you right on point, and you, like I said, you guys know exactly where to be. What goes into that chemistry?
Sure. I mean, you just see it so much over the course of time. You know that when he drives, he's gonna, either grab somebody from the baseline, or the person that's at the top is gonna, try to trap the spin or whatever. You just know to find windows, and when we find windows and just play on the catch, we're a hard team to beat. So every time he drives, if he doesn't draw two, then he's getting a bucket. It's Shai. So when he draws two, it's just about us finding cuts and finding windows. So whenever he does get ready to pass it, he has an outlet, and then from there we just play on the catch.
And Mark talks about how he doesn't want you guys playing one singular way, but no matter the way you guys play, the ball continues to move. What's been the key for you guys continuing to have the ball move?
Just don't let it stick. Just don't get stagnant out there. When we're not stagnant, like I said, we're a tough team to beat because we can play fast, we can score at multiple levels, get to the rim. We have great mid-range play, and we got people that can stretch the floor. So when we're just playing fast and putting teams in rotation, it just creates open looks for us all game.
Can you speak on the crowd tonight? Obviously, New Year's Eve crowd. It's a thing, tradition here at Oklahoma City where they play on New Year's Eve, and they sounded pretty loud tonight. Could you hear it? And then, how are you ringing in 2024?
Yeah, man, our crowd has been amazing all season. I want to tip my hat to them because they bring a energy that is needed day in and day out. So, we're really blessed to have the OKC crowd out there, cheering us on every game, just uplifting us no matter the circumstances, and just hopefully we can keep that going in next year. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Isaiah.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Mark, the defense really clamped down after that first quarter. Were there any tactical things that you guys did differently second through four, or did you guys just do it better, basically?
I thought the tone to start the second quarter was really good by the group that started off there. We just were a little flat early, and then amped it up pretty good, and then a lot of switching. We downsized and were able to switch them, and it stopped their drive and kick, and they just weren't able to start the blender as much as they were against our coverage. We didn't do it exclusively, but that was a huge key for us defensively.
You all had really great balance offensively. Is a lot of that downstream from what you were talking about defensively, just kind of pulling the ball off the rim after so many misses and getting out and playmaking for each other?
Yeah, I thought there were a couple moments where I wouldn't call it sticky, but I just thought we didn't make the early play in transition. I thought we had a lot of opportunities tonight to do that, but when we did, we got really, really good stuff, and the game was fun when we did that. So we did it enough, obviously, to have a really good offensive night, but definitely had to course correct a couple things during the course of the game.
We talked pregame about how not everybody's guarding Josh the same way. They did it a little bit early with Claxton and had him back. I just wonder how you thought about the way he responded and also the way he shot the ball. Seemed pretty confidently.
Yeah, I thought the guys did a good job of finding him. There was that play. We were on a different action, and Jalen just snapped it to him in the second half, early in the third. So I think it's powerful when your teammate gives you confidence by just throwing you the ball in that situation. He obviously stepped into those with confidence. I thought we handled it pretty well. I mean, it's now multiple times that we've seen that, so it's not unfamiliar to us. And we just continue to grow. It's just another attack that we have to have.
And what did you think just of his his floor game and kind of, it seems like an extension of the way he's been playing recently?
Yeah, he's played well, and I thought his defensive intensity tonight was particularly good. I thought he was pretty locked in on that end of the floor. This is a team that requires hot closeouts. You got to go out and play those guys, and I thought he did a good job of that. He caught himself on some switches against their primary guys and did a good job, in terms of those assignments. So I thought he played a very complete game.
Or thinking back to the next game earlier in the week, it seems like there's something brewing with the way Jalen is starting fourth quarters. I wonder if you've seen something there and what's maybe worked for him.
I mean, all I can go to is he's playing with a great deal of confidence and aggression on that end of the floor. I think when we look at development, we think about like younger players or players that are playing lesser roles or rookies. But I mean, he's obviously a very impactful player already, but he's still developing large parts of his game, and so I think you're seeing some of that growth, and we'll see some regression at some point too, as defenses adjust to him or as he goes through the natural ups and downs. But he's definitely playing with a lot of swagger right now.
Yeah, I don't have the number on my head down to the decimal, but I think you guys are 5 points better in the third quarter than just overall. Just what's worked down the stretch in the third, just from what you've seen.
I mean, you guys asked that last year too. I don't really know. We're trying to be good on every possession, not just in certain quarters or parts of the game. So, the guys do a good job of coming out of halftime ready to go. I think that definitely is the case. But other than that, I don't really know.
Can you speak to the New Year's Eve crowd and just the tradition that the Oklahoma State Thunder have with playing on New Year's Eve and how crazy it is? And are you going to be allowed to take a breath and tomorrow off? And
allowed by who? What
is your plans for tonight and tomorrow?
Ash and I may make it to midnight. We may not, because our kids are not going to adjust, tomorrow morning. So, great crowd, great crowd, and it has been a great crowd here for a good stretch of games now. This string of home games, we've had a home court, and that buzz was in the building tonight. Certainly appreciative of that. We wish our fans that were at the game and back home Happy New Year as well. Before I forget.
Go ahead, yeah, Mark, you didn't turn them over the way you've been turning them over most teams. Why not? And how'd you still win going away without that edge that you usually have?
Well, I thought the shooting was obviously one of the things I was impressed with in Denver was like we made 12 threes, they made 10. So it wasn't like we just shot the ball. We were hot, they weren't. I thought we manufactured a lot in that game. Tonight was it was a variance night. There's nights where the other team makes shots and you don't. And tonight was a night we made shots and they didn't. They shot a lot of threes. I thought we contested a lot of them. I thought we did make them uncomfortable with some contests and at our point of attack with the switching, like I mentioned. But it's hard to explain that box score other than, shooting variance on this night because they were really clean with their turnovers and they shot more free throws and they shot more shots. They had a lot more offensive rebounds. But it was a shot making night, plain and simple. But I did think we generated good ones.
Go ahead, Daniel. You talked about how you guys don't want to just play one singular way, but no matter what way you guys play, it seems like the ball continues to move. Another game with 30 assists. What do you like about you guys' ball movement so far this season?
Well, I think it's about, like I said, being willing to move it early in possessions. It's about respecting good defense. If there's good defense, turning it and getting into different action. But a lot of it's just creating advantages. It's hard to move the ball if you can't create an advantage. And we've got guys that are on the gas and that create the initial advantage, and they've done a great job of moving it out of that advantage. And then we have guys that play quickly on the catch and maintain advantages and finish plays. And I think that's where you get the optics of ball movement, but it starts with an advantage, and our guys have done a great job of working together to create those.
Well, the bottom line of the errant passes from Brooklyn, out to the corners and just the wide volume of threes, they're just constantly driving and kicking. How much of that did you feel was maybe them, and then how much of that is maybe Chet at the rim kind of deterring some of that stuff?
That's their style. I mean, they're 6th in the league, I think, in 3-point attempts. So they're definitely a drive and kick team that wants to find jump shots. They're very comfortable playing like that. I do think he deters a lot when he's down there. Some plays that maybe they'd try to finish, they kick out instead. But generally, that's kind of who they are.
Mark, in the first quarter, the Nets came out strong. Mikal Bridges and Cam Thomas combined for 25 points. The rest of the game, they score 17. What sort of adjustments, strategy, or factors went into slowing both those guys down to sort of, hold down the fort?
I mean, some of it, I just thought we were, like I said, a little flat to start the game. We got Lou on Thomas a lot in the second quarter. I thought that was impactful. Once Thomas got going, I thought the switching was important with that. And then I thought, going back to the first quarter thing, us being able to pace with them while they started like that was important, because it's a lot different of a game when, you kind of start flat-footed defensively, but you're down by 3 at the end of the first quarter. You're up by 3. I don't know what it was, but it was a close game. Being able to steady that and not be down by 14 points and have to play from behind the whole night is important too. So I thought there were a lot of factors, but I did think we amped it up starting with that group in the second.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Happy New Year. Yep.